Have you ever paused to reflect on whether you're truly living the life you want? Do you feel stuck, constantly pleasing others, or weighed down by toxic connections that drain your energy? Aging isn't just about facing new challenges. It's a chance to embrace freedom, authenticity, and a deeper sense of purpose. In today's video, we'll uncover 9 eye-opening truths that every older adult needs to hear. These are lessons that can transform how you approach this stage of life, bringing clarity, strength, and peace. We'll explore practical ways to protect your emotional well-being, break free from the need for validation, and step away from negativity with confidence. You'll discover why setting boundaries is essential and how choosing wisely whom to trust can change everything. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by family dynamics or stuck in one-sided relationships, this is your chance to find a path forward. Stay with us until the end, because these insights aren't about just getting through life. They're about thriving with dignity, joy, and self-respect. Don't let these life-changing strategies pass you by. If you're new here, subscribe and turn on notifications to stay connected. It's the best way to ensure you never miss valuable content like this. Your support helps us reach more people. If you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs these empowering lessons. And let us know in the comments. Type 1 if this topic resonates with you, or share your thoughts so we can continue to grow and improve together. Let's begin. Number 1. Trust wisely and guard your inner peace. Life is a journey of connections, and trust is its foundation. It ties us to others, anchoring relationships in moments of joy and adversity. This unseen bond shapes the depth and strength of every meaningful connection. As time goes on, trust grows both precious and fragile. It shifts from a simple bond to a safeguard for our emotional well-being, a shield against betrayal and loss. When broken, it leaves wounds that demand time and patience to heal. The need for genuine relationships intensifies with age. We crave understanding and meaningful interaction. Yet, this longing carries risks. Not all who cross our path have intentions rooted in care or honesty. Loneliness often becomes a quiet shadow. It whispers that any company is better than solitude. In moments of stillness, the desire for connection swells, a longing for shared memories, understanding, and the warmth of companionship. But this natural yearning can cloud judgment. It opens doors to those who may exploit vulnerability. Some approach with charm, offering comfort, but their intentions soon reveal themselves. They see generosity as an opportunity, using kindness for their gain. These individuals thrive on the trust of others. They appear in times of struggle, offering support that feels genuine. Yet, as life stabilizes, they disappear, leaving behind doubt and emotional fatigue. Their presence, once reassuring, now feels hollow. Experiences like these are disheartening, but they also hold lessons. They teach us to value trust as a treasure, not to be given away lightly. Trust is earned through consistent actions, respect, and authenticity. Daily practices to build and protect trust while guarding your peace. Trust your intuition. Start each day by checking in with your gut feelings. Reflect on how people's words and actions align. Practice mindfulness to strengthen your awareness of subtle red flags or positive signals. Set clear boundaries. Communicate your limits firmly and kindly in every relationship. Say no without guilt when something feels draining or misaligned with your values. Observe actions over words. Pay attention to consistent behaviors rather than promises. Take mental notes of how people show up for you, especially in moments of need. Embrace solitude. Dedicate time each day to enjoy your own company, like reading, meditating, or journaling. Learn to find peace within yourself, reducing dependence on external validation. Choose quality over quantity. Focus on nurturing a few meaningful relationships rather than seeking to please everyone. Spend time with those who uplift you and genuinely value your presence. Practice gratitude. Each night, reflect on people or moments that made you feel safe and appreciated. Gratitude strengthens trust by highlighting the good in others. Communicate transparently. Speak your truth openly but respectfully. Honest communication invites trust. Encourage others to share their thoughts and feelings without judgment. Protect your energy. Avoid overcommitting or giving more than you have the capacity to offer. Replenish yourself daily through self-care activities like a walk, hobby, or quiet reflection. Be reliable. Keep your word. Follow through on commitments, no matter how small. Trust begins with being trustworthy yourself. Protecting your peace requires vigilance. Pay attention to intuition. It often senses what the heart cannot articulate. Observe actions over words. True allies respect boundaries, value your emotional safety, and support without expectation. Genuine trust is a bond of mutual respect. It thrives on kindness, empathy, and sincerity. By trusting wisely, we protect not only ourselves but also create space for relationships that enrich, uplift, and endure. Number 2. Reclaim your life. Stop living to please others. For much of our lives, we're conditioned to find worth in how much we give to others. From a young age, we're taught that love means selflessness and that our value lies in how well we meet the needs of those around us, our families, our friends, and our communities. We grow up striving to make others happy, often putting their desires before our own. At first, this feels rewarding, even noble. There is beauty in giving, in sharing love and care. But over time, this devotion can take a toll. Our neighbor, Luke, was the kind of man everyone admired. He was dependable, always the first to lend a hand when someone needed help. Whether fixing a broken fence, babysitting for a stressed parent, or organizing community events, Luke seemed tireless. People often said, the world could use more men like him. But behind his easy smile and unwavering generosity, there was a quiet struggle no one saw. For decades, Luke had lived to please others. As the eldest of 5 siblings, he took on responsibility early, stepping into the role of caretaker after his father's unexpected passing. This selflessness carried into adulthood. He worked extra shifts to support his siblings' education, sacrificed his savings to help a friend start a business, and rarely said no to anyone's request for help. Yet, as the years passed, Luke began to feel a deep emptiness. He was surrounded by grateful people but couldn't shake the sense that something was missing. At 58, he realized he had spent so much time being what others needed that he had no idea who he was anymore. One day, everything changed. Luke's doctor told him the stress and exhaustion were affecting his health. "You've been running on empty for too long," she said. "If you don't slow down and take care of yourself, you'll have nothing left to give." For Luke, this was a wake-up call. He began to reflect on his life, the dreams he had let go, the hobbies he had abandoned, and the quiet longing he felt every time he watched others pursue their passions. So, he made a bold decision. He stepped back from his community commitments, something he had never dared to do. He started saying no to requests that drained him and, yes, to things that brought him joy. He took up painting, a hobby he had loved as a teenager but hadn't touched in over 40 years. He began traveling to places he had always dreamed of visiting, capturing their beauty on canvas. At first, some people were surprised, even upset. "What happened to the old Luke?" they asked. But others saw something remarkable. Luke was happier, healthier, and more vibrant than he had been in years. He still cared deeply for others, but now he cared for himself too. By choosing to prioritize his well-being, he found a balance that allowed him to give from a place of abundance rather than depletion. Luke's story is a reminder that living for others doesn't mean losing yourself. His courage to reclaim his life inspired those around him to do the same. Sometimes, the most selfless act is taking care of yourself, because when you thrive, so does the love you give. What starts as an act of kindness can become a relentless cycle of sacrifice. Slowly, our energy fades, our dreams are shelved, and our sense of self begins to dim. The more we give, the less we reserve for ourselves. And one day, we wake up feeling empty, exhausted by the constant effort to meet everyone's expectations, yet disconnected from what truly fulfills us. As we grow older, a moment of clarity often emerges. A quiet but profound realization: we've earned the right to prioritize ourselves. This isn't selfish. It's necessary. For decades, you've poured your time, love, and energy into others. Now, it's time to rediscover the parts of you that have been waiting in the wings. This phase of life isn't about endless giving. It's about reclaiming your joy and reconnecting with your passions. The truth is, the weight of others' expectations doesn't simply vanish. Family may still lean on you. You might feel obligated to always show up for your children, grandchildren, or friends. But love isn't about erasing yourself to serve others. True love respects your need for happiness and fulfillment. Let this sink in. Your happiness is not optional. It's essential. Pursuing it doesn't mean abandoning those you care about. It means honoring the life you've worked so hard to build. Imagine waking each day with the freedom to choose what brings you joy. Picture yourself rekindling the hobbies and passions you once put aside. Envision a life where you live for your dreams, not just to meet others' expectations. This isn't indulgence. It's a birthright you've earned. Your well-being matters as much as anyone else's. And those who genuinely love you will celebrate your decision to embrace this new chapter. If some struggle to accept it, remember, their expectations don't define your worth. Release the guilt that whispers you're doing something wrong. Cast aside the fear that prioritizing yourself will disappoint others. The people who truly value you will understand, and their love will remain steadfast. You've given so much of yourself over the years. Now, it's time to give yourself the same care and devotion. This is your moment to step into the life you deserve, a life that nourishes your soul, fuels your passions, and brings you peace. Stop living solely for others. Start living for the person who matters just as much. It's time to reclaim your life and shape it into something that feels authentically yours. Number 3. Distance yourself from toxic relationships. Family is often regarded as the foundation of our lives. It's meant to be a safe haven where love flows freely and support is unconditional. We are taught that family should be our greatest source of security and connection. Yet, what happens when those closest to us, those we believe will always have our backs, are the ones who wound us the deepest? This truth is difficult to face, but it's an undeniable reality. Sometimes, the people we are most closely tied to are the ones capable of inflicting the most pain. Whether it's the sting of a child's harsh words, the cruelty of a sibling's criticism, or a partner's disregard that leaves us feeling invisible, the wounds can cut deep. These emotional injuries often go unnoticed and unspoken, buried beneath layers of guilt and unspoken expectations. Our culture has ingrained in us the belief that family is sacred. The idea that blood ties should bind us to one another is pervasive. We're led to believe that loyalty and duty should always come first, no matter the emotional cost. And yet, this belief often traps us in unhealthy, draining relationships. We endure the pain. We make excuses for their behavior, telling ourselves it's simply the way family works. We push aside our own needs, clinging to the hope that things will improve or that we should be grateful for whatever love is shown. But here's a hard truth. Family relationships aren't sacred just because they are tied to blood or history. A bond that undermines your sense of worth or leaves you feeling emotionally drained isn't healthy, it's toxic. The key to recognizing toxicity in relationships lies in understanding your own worth. Research suggests that toxic relationships, whether with family members or friends, can lead to significant mental health consequences. A 2018 study published in Psychological Science revealed that people in negative relationships often experience higher levels of anxiety, depression, and even physical illness. The cost of holding on to such relationships can be immense. As we grow, time grants us perspective. We come to understand that life is short and precious. Every day spent in a toxic relationship is another day that we sacrifice our own mental and emotional well-being. By choosing to distance ourselves from harmful people, we are not being selfish. We are choosing self-respect and emotional health over the unhealthy bonds of obligation. This is an act of profound self-love. Yes, creating distance is one of the hardest choices you'll make. It may feel like betrayal, especially if these relationships have been a significant part of your life. But distancing yourself doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean severing ties completely or abandoning love. It simply means acknowledging that love cannot thrive in a space full of manipulation, negativity, and pain. Setting boundaries becomes a necessary step in healing. These boundaries might force us to reevaluate relationships that were once thought to be unbreakable. Imagine the freedom you could experience if you were no longer subject to verbal abuse, constant belittling, or emotional neglect. Picture a life where you're no longer held hostage by the toxic behaviors of others. When we distance ourselves from those who harm us, we create space for healthier, more supportive relationships. Relationships that nurture us, that are based on mutual respect and kindness. This decision will not come without its challenges. You may face moments of guilt, self-doubt, or even sadness. You might wonder if you're being too harsh or too distant. But remember, your happiness matters. Your mental and emotional well-being are priceless, and they deserve to be protected. People who genuinely care about you will understand your need for peace and will support your decision to create a healthier, happier life. Those who can't respect your boundaries? Perhaps they were never meant to be a part of your inner circle. Moving forward, give yourself the freedom to prioritize your own needs. Let go of the guilt that has held you back for so long. Embrace the possibility of a life free from toxic relationships. A life full of positivity, peace, and love. At this stage of life, every moment is valuable. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who see your worth, and who offer you respect without hesitation. You deserve a life filled with joy and unconditional love. Let go of the past and make room for a future where you thrive. Number 4. Stop waiting for recognition. There's a quiet ache that many of us carry. A deep, unspoken longing to be seen. This yearning emerges after years of giving, of putting others before ourselves, of silently hoping that one day, someone will truly acknowledge the sacrifices we've made. This desire for recognition is universal. Studies show that 90% of people feel the need to be appreciated at work, but the same can be said for personal relationships. We all want validation, whether it's a thank you from a partner, recognition from a friend, or a simple nod from our children for all we've done. Yet, the harsh truth is that recognition often doesn't come. The very people we've dedicated so much to can be distracted, caught up in their own lives, or simply unaware of the depth of our sacrifices. And when acknowledgement doesn't arrive, the disappointment can feel suffocating. Many find themselves questioning whether all the years of giving, the sleepless nights, the selfless acts, were they all worth it? This isn't just a feeling, it's backed by research. A 2021 study by Gallup revealed that 65% of employees who feel their contributions are not recognized are more likely to quit. If this lack of recognition can impact careers, imagine the effect it has on our personal lives. The frustration of feeling invisible can breed resentment, self-doubt, and even bitterness. It's a silent, weighty burden. But here's an empowering truth. Your efforts, whether seen or unseen, still matter. They're significant. Your sacrifices, the love you've given, the late nights and tough choices, these actions have made a difference, even if no one acknowledges them. And more often than not, it's the quiet acts that leave the most lasting impact. Studies from the University of California suggest that emotional support, often given without recognition, strengthens relationships in profound ways. Rather than fixating on external validation, it's time to look inward. Reflect on everything you've done, without expecting anything in return. Think of the moments when you've given without hesitating. Whether it was staying up late for someone else's benefit, offering a listening ear, or making sacrifices that no one else saw, those are the moments that truly define us. In these moments, you acted from a place of love and integrity. That, in itself, is worth celebrating. When you stop waiting for someone else to give you credit, you regain control over your happiness. You no longer rely on others to determine your worth. Your value isn't tied to a thank you note, a compliment, or even a public acknowledgement. You begin to realize that your own recognition is all you need. It's about embracing the truth that you've already done what you could, and that alone is enough. Gratitude is essential, of course. We all want to feel appreciated, and we all deserve to be. However, true peace and fulfillment come when we recognize that our worth isn't tied to others' ability to express that gratitude. The freedom that comes with this realization is profound. Imagine releasing the weight of expecting recognition. Visualize no longer replaying old sacrifices, wondering why they went unnoticed. Instead, you can embrace the present, knowing that your actions have already spoken louder than words. The peace of not needing to be validated by anyone else is transformative. This doesn't mean you stop caring, loving, or giving. It means you do so from a place of abundance, a place where love, kindness, and generosity flow freely without strings attached. It means acknowledging the beauty of what you've already done and finding fulfillment in knowing you've lived a life filled with care and love, regardless of external acknowledgement. Your energy is far too precious to waste on the hope of recognition that may never come. Choose to focus on what truly matters, living fully, loving deeply, and finding joy in knowing you've given your best. This is more than enough. It's a truth that, once realized, brings a lasting peace, a peace that comes from within, free from the need for external validation. It is all you truly need. Number 5. Age is not an excuse to stop evolving. It's a catalyst for growth. The world has a subtle but insistent message. As we age, we lose our potential. It whispers that with every year that passes, we should expect less from ourselves, less from life. Your time has passed, it says. This is who you are now. We begin to believe that the older we get, the fewer opportunities there are for change, for reinvention. But that's a lie. Age is not a limit. It's a launch pad for something extraordinary. Research shows that the brain remains remarkably plastic throughout life. A study from the Journal of Neuroscience, 2014, found that learning new skills, even in older age, strengthens neural pathways and improves cognitive function. In fact, many people find that their creativity and problem-solving skills peak later in life. So, don't be fooled. Just because you've reached a certain age doesn't mean you've reached your potential. Change doesn't stop because the years accumulate. It may feel like the world around us is telling us to slow down, to accept our place in the world, but inside, there's a voice urging us to continue the journey. What if we've been wrong about age? What if it's not too late to learn something new, to challenge the limits of what we believe we can achieve? It's easy to buy into the narrative that age is a barrier. When we face a new opportunity or feel the pull to explore an untapped passion, we're quick to think, I'm too old for this. Maybe it's starting a business, learning a language, or pursuing a degree. Perhaps it's simply breaking old habits or reshaping our daily routines. Society teaches us that change is for the young, but that's a myth. It's not about how many years we've lived, it's about how we choose to use them. In reality, the older we get, the more wisdom we accumulate. Each experience, each challenge faced, each lesson learned equips us with a unique toolkit for transformation. Take a moment to think about the skills you've gained over the years: resilience, emotional intelligence, patience. You've already been through hardships that younger people can't imagine. You have an understanding of life's complexities that gives you an edge. Studies support this idea. According to a report from the Harvard Business Review, 2017, people in their 50s and 60s are often more effective at decision-making than younger colleagues. This is because they draw on a wealth of experience and a broader perspective that helps them navigate challenges more effectively. Age doesn't diminish your ability to innovate or take risks, it enhances it. Now, imagine this: you're standing at the threshold of something new. It could be a hobby you've always wanted to try, a dream you thought was too distant, or a skill you never dared to learn. You've wanted to write a book, start a blog, or even take a solo trip to that place on your bucket list. Age doesn't steal your ability to chase these dreams, it empowers them. All that matters is choosing to take the first step. The truth is, age doesn't erase your potential for joy, discovery, or new beginnings. Change is not about erasing the past or trying to become someone else. It's about taking everything you've learned, the highs, the lows, the triumphs, and the setbacks, and using them to fuel the next chapter of your life. Your experiences don't weigh you down, they lift you up, providing the foundation for your next adventure. It's natural to feel uncertain or fearful about change. But let's remember, growth always requires courage. And if you reflect on your life, you'll see that you've already demonstrated incredible courage. Think about every time you faced a setback and pushed through. Consider every difficult decision that led to a better life. These are the moments that shaped you, and they are the same qualities that will drive you toward your next leap. In fact, as you age, your courage often deepens. According to a study published by the Journals of Gerontology, 2015, people in their 50s and beyond tend to have a higher level of self-confidence and resilience compared to younger individuals. This is because they've weathered more challenges and gained a deeper understanding of life. You have more courage now than you might realize. So, let's stop allowing age to define our limitations. It's time to reclaim our dreams and let them fuel our passions. Age is not a prison. It's a gateway to new possibilities. It's an invitation to tap into your full potential, to embrace all the experiences, insights, and strengths you've accumulated over the years. The person you're becoming is not held back by age, it's enhanced by it. The person you are today is built on the foundation of all you've learned, all you've survived, and all you've yet to discover. And the best part? The journey is far from over. There's still so much to do, so much to explore, and so much to give. Age isn't a limitation, it's an asset. The time for growth, for adventure, for joy is now. The world is waiting for you to step forward with the wisdom, courage, and energy only you possess. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Make this moment the beginning of something extraordinary. The best chapters of your life are yet to be written. And we also prefer to add the last one. Number 6, don't cling to the past. Memories often wrap around us like a familiar, comforting blanket. They bring warmth, offering a sense of security, as though revisiting a place or person that once knew us best. In moments of uncertainty, we grasp these memories as treasures, seeking the comfort of a time when life felt clearer, simpler, or even magical. As we grow older, it's natural to revisit the past. These memories anchor us to who we were, and there's beauty in that. They remind us of a time filled with joy, love, and laughter. But there's a risk in holding onto them too tightly. Have you ever thought, back in my day things were better? Or if only I could return to those days when everything felt right? Nostalgia has a magnetic pull, drawing us back to what once was. While comforting, it can become suffocating if we aren't careful. It's easy to idealize the past and believe that those were the best days, trapping ourselves in a version of life that no longer exists. Yet, the truth is, life is still unfolding. The present moment is where we live, and the future is waiting for us. It may not mirror the past, and that's okay. Life evolves, and so do we. We cannot dwell in what was, hoping to find fulfillment there. The future requires us to step forward, to engage, and to participate. We must be present, actively moving toward what's next. Clinging to the past risks blinding us to the beauty of the present. The faces, places, and experiences may not look the same as they did before. But if we open our eyes and hearts, we'll discover new wonders, ones that might not be as loud, but are just as beautiful. The key lies in embracing the small, often overlooked moments. These quiet joys may not make headlines, but they are the essence of a rich life. Imagine waking up with curiosity in your heart, free from the weight of past regrets, and eager for the new discoveries the day holds. Picture asking yourself each morning, what new experiences will today bring? It's easy to get lost in the daily grind, to let life slip by while we fixate on what we've lost. But when we stop to appreciate the present, even the smallest moments can become treasures. A bird singing outside your window, the distant laughter of children, or a message from an old friend. These seemingly insignificant instances are what make life precious. They remind us that beauty exists, no matter our age or stage in life. Imagine the power of waking up with a renewed sense of wonder, not seeking yesterday's magic but discovering today's quiet joys. Savoring a warm meal, embracing a loved one, or simply taking a peaceful walk, these moments are life's true treasures. They don't demand anything from us except our presence. Life's greatest beauty doesn't always emerge in dramatic moments. Sometimes, it's in the stillness, in simply being. The past can be a soft reminder of where we've been, but it should never imprison us. It's a cherished chapter, not the whole story. We often assume that the best moments have passed with time, that as we age, life loses its wonder. But that's a misconception. Life is far from over. It continues to unfold, offering us new opportunities at every turn. The future is abundant with possibilities. It's waiting for us to release the weight of the past, to take that first step forward into what lies ahead. The best is not behind us. It's always in front of us, waiting to be discovered. We are still capable of great joy, growth, and wonder. Don't let the past rob you of the future's potential. Life is unfolding now. It's yours to embrace, and the best is yet to come. Open your heart to today's beauty, for life is happening in this moment, and it's yours to live.